Okay, lovely music. These are my photos and videos of my trip to Mont Saint Michel in Normandy, France, March of 2024. On what I have to say, I'll just interject here and there if I got anything to say about it. Very, very intriguing, unique place. And I left Dinan and had to go to Rennes, a major city in Brittany, to catch the bus to Mont Saint Michel because I didn't rent a car. That's the train and bus monitor, one of many in Rennes train and bus station. And these are videos of Normandy. Rather unremarkable, but makes me think of like World War II history. I read a lot of, took place in this region, not right here, some of it. Pretty well suited for tank battles. But this is on the way from Rennes to Mont Saint Michel. This is a house, just a picture of a house right before you get to Mont Saint Michel. There's really nothing in Mont Saint Michel other than this place. There are a few hotels on the shore and a few restaurants, but there's no town really to speak of. There's a parking lot and a bus stop, and you're going to have to do a little walking to get in there, probably. But if you're not up for walking, I mean, this is not the place for you because it's all stairs. That French tricolor, that's a lot of quicksand danger in this place. Goes back, the sand there. All right, this is not my pictures. This is what it looks like in summertime. These pictures are from the web. And I avoided this crowd by coming there in March. You will not see this. This is the second most visited tourist place in France. It gets over 3 million visitors a year. I can't imagine. There's nowhere to sit down. No public restrooms, really, to speak of. Some, but not many. I would not want to come here during this crowd. Come here during the winter time, or maybe the fall or early spring, and like I did, and you won't have to deal with it. Nothing against people, but that's just too crowded. Yours truly. This is at the base. This is right before going up. Once you start going up, there are no stores, no restaurants. This was a cool spot. Walking up in there. I got a couple videos at the end of this. Very intriguing place. Yeah, I love that little place. Those stairs. It's like a walk. It goes up to the right and up. Really cool. So I started walking up, and I'm taking pictures of the rooftops, skyline, Normandy Beach. The tides are supposed to be among the strongest on Earth here, and you can really see it come in and go out. You don't want to get stuck out there in the sand. That's why you don't see people out there, really. Quicksand. It's stuck, you're done. Going up, that's a hotel. There are like 3 hotels there. It was really small. I managed to get a room in one, and I'm glad I did. There are no wheelchair ramps, no elevators, and places like right here are pitch black at night, I would find out, because I thought I would wander around there at night when the crowd's gone. And there's a relatively newer graveyard there. That's about halfway up. Monks, nuns, priests. It is an abbey, functional abbey. People do live there, reside there. A lot of it is off limits. Doors are locked, private walkways like that. You see a door like that's closed, it just means it's off limits. Any doors that are closed means it's private. But you can wander all over the place, providing you don't mind going up a lot of stairs. But stairs become seats if you need to sit down, unless there's a crowd of people. Notice the general lack of a crowd. That's because I went in March. And I am very, look at the rocks, original rocks. That's about halfway up. And more stairs. More stairs. Going up. This is all, made this video. All these pictures are in sequence. More stairs yet. I was taking these two at a time. I don't know what it was. I just really felt all kinds of energy. Now you get up towards the top and you got to pay about $10 or $15 to proceed, which I didn't mind at all if it goes for the upkeep of the place. That's the only, government place where they do charge you $10 or $15. And now, so I paid my money and I'm going up towards the top. The top being not the pinnacle, obviously. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. That's definitely off limits. I wouldn't even try to climb over that. Must be the cafeteria. Now, that's a plaster version of the golden statue that is at the very top. That's St. Michael or Mont, St. Michel. They say St. Michel, St. Michael. That's at the very top of this thing. I think it was put there. I don't know. You'd have to look it up. Like 200 years ago, just about. It is a religious place, Christian place, Catholic. There are nuns there and monks and priests, though I didn't see many. Saw some. I just taking pictures of everything. Everywhere, every corner I turned was a photograph. I love the old doors. I mean, that's pretty cool. Off limits. Makes you wonder what's behind them. What secrets? That's the road in and out that you see there. They just built that a few years ago. It used to be every tide that came in, the place was inaccessible during high tide. Well, it still is 3 or 4 times a year. But generally, it's accessible 24 hours a day. Except for 3 or 4 times a year, it does become an island again. The place has a history. Was built in the 8th century. Saw more wars than I read more wars than the Middle East. I mean, the Vikings sacked it. They raided it. The Franks did. The Normans did. The English fought there with the French. The French fought with the French there. It became a prison for a while. It has quite a history. A lot of bloodshed, actually. I got different vibes from this place, good and dark. But there were a lot of good people that come through there, no doubt. And Christian people, I'm sure God's Holy Spirit was upon the place. Now, see the symbols in these. I was wondering what all these rocks on the floor had these symbols. And I thought it was something mystical. I looked it up. It turns out that the architects and engineers assigned the stonecutters a symbol, and they'd carve it into these rocks. So they got paid. They know how much to pay them for the rocks they carried up there and cut and placed in. That was somebody's symbol, like in the 1500s, something like that. Pretty wild. This is really the top level, at least accessible to the public. And there's quite a lot there to see. I don't think I saw all of it. Definitely didn't see all of it, because a lot of it's off limits. And there's my bird brain friend. This is going inside, top level. This is all in order of my travels there. I spent a day and I spent the night there. Took a little time in the morning and then left. I would like to go back for 2 days. This is at the top. I don't know what this area was used for. I think a garden. I think it was for a garden. Very beautiful. Could have walked out on it, but nobody did. Just felt instinctively that it was off limits. Detail from that spot you just saw. All these arches had these on them. Different heads. Another mystical door closed. Everything was grandiose. This is the main worship. I don't know what do you call it? I'd say chapel, but it's the main room for worship. I don't know, abbey. I guess abbey. There's a lot of history to this place, and I'm not telling it on here because I just can't get all that in on this. It was, like I said, it was built in the 7th century, 8th century, early 1700 or 700s, like 725 AD. And all right, I think I've got a couple of videos of this. Just standing there, the acoustics. Really, I can't imagine people singing in there. Must have been awesome to hear people singing. I mean, you could hear one guy talking. I don't even know where he was at, but you could hear his voice really loud. This place was made for acoustics. Sing a praise to God. That's what it was built for. Now, this wasn't built. This part of the Abbey came along, when you say newer, maybe 500 or 600 years ago. But they just kept building on this over the course of 1,300 years. They just kept adding to it. I think their last buildings, maybe 1700s. They stopped building on this. 1600s. Somewhere around there. Detail, same room. This is where I'm to understand the monks would eat. Now, notice there's only one table now. It used to be filled up with monks and sisters. Only one table now. Sad. In my opinion, sad. I don't know what that bird's saying. I'm ready for a beer. Well, my translator, French. Place was really, to be in there, awe-inspiring. Another secret door, intriguing. What's behind there? $1,300. I think that's my favorite door, believe it or not. Closed. Just like the door and the stonework. Got to be something big behind there. The Holy Grail. The Ark. I love this. My favorite window picture right here, too. Beautiful. I actually got a little, I wouldn't say lost, but Misorientated for about 10, 15 minutes. I wasn't sure where I was. Place is a genuine labyrinth. Can't imagine if all the doors were unlocked. Look at this fireplace. I imagine everybody would be invited to bring a log of wood up with them. There's no other way to get things up there than carry it that I could see. Kind of foreboding. I wonder what they did in these rooms. Each room probably had a name for it. Off limits. I don't know what this giant wheel. I'm afraid I couldn't tell you what it was for. Maybe with the bell, probably. They do have a bell they ring there, of course. Bet it has something to do with that. And more off limits. It didn't bother me that things were off limits. Just made me wonder. It's kind of intriguing. I have read that Mont Saint Michel is one of the most haunted places in France. I can believe it. Yes, I did get vibes there, definitely. Definitely. I may have had a little bit of a haunting too at my hotel in the morning. Plenty of these to walk up and down. No wheelchair ramp here. Got a rope though. Hang on. Yeah, I can't imagine that walking around there at night. I was hoping to. Maybe I will. I hope to go back, and if I do, I'll be prepared. I'll have like a head flashlight, kind of hat. Definitely. Tide's coming in. Look at the place. That must have been a major gate doorway in, huh? Must have been a stairs there or ramp. Cannons. There's a lot of warfare there. The place was an abbey first, then a fort, then a prison, now an abbey still, and a major tourist. It has been a tourist site for 1,000 years. From everything I've read, people have come to see this place. This is nothing new. People have swarmed to visit this place up until this very day. In World War II, it was a major tourist attraction for German soldiers. There were no battles fought here, fortunately. It would have been destroyed. And then it was a major tourist site for Americans when they took over France and British such allies. So now I've come down from the Abbey. The pictures are going to be down towards the ground level. Plenty to see there. Saint-Pierre's Cathedral, I'm not sure. Église Saint-Pierre, or St. Peter's Church. St. Peter, the patron saint of fishermen. More on that. But when I went in there, I felt so good going into this little chapel. You're going to see pictures of here. This is the way in, the doorway in. St. Peter's Church, or Église Saint-Pierre. It was built in the 14th and 15th centuries. It was just, I don't know, I just got such a good feeling in there. I lit a candle to my mother and for Jen and said some prayers and reverence. I came back later that night. It's a video, and wanted to take a picture in their video. And there was two people in there, a man and a woman, and they were singing together right there. They were at, and I turned around and left because I didn't want to just invade their privacy. Beautiful. This is on the ground level. You can get to this. There's no stairs to speak of. This is just before you start going up. That's where I lit the candle. And there were other people in there, and you could tell they were doing the same for their loved ones. And they hold a mass in there every day. It's an active church. Every day there's a mass. I hope to go back here and spend a couple days. I would say 2 days, and stay there. And off season, definitely. Uh, this was March, just jacket, weather, umbrella. The bell is from St. Peter's Church. I found that out after.
Well, this is Mont Saint Michel.
Mont Saint Michel.
At the bottom of it, where you walk up.
Mont Saint Michel.
This place is massive, and it's like a labyrinth in there. I got lost for about, I think, 20 minutes. I wasn't sure where I was in there. And this is, the tide is out. And that's a little land bridge there going back. The cop there, I don't want to. That's it. I'm staying overnight. Place is swarming with tourists during the day, but they all leave. I was told that I'm staying there tonight. There'll only be a handful of people on this island. That's why I'm staying here tonight. Loaded up with beer, of course.
Yeah, I had 3 bottles of beer I bought there. Beers brewed locally. They were pretty good. I drank them when I was done walking around. Now this shop is on the ground level. It's kind of tacky, but you don't see this after you get above ground level at all. Cannon Port. Yours truly, having a good day at Mont Saint Michel. I really love this archway and this walk here.
Man, stuff all over here.
You gotta excuse my breathing. I'm walking upstairs with the camera right in front of my face. So it is what it is. Église Saint-Pierre, or St. Peter's Church, is right in front here. Beautiful place.
I lit a candle to my mom and Jen in there. Really nice in there. Spot for that.
Again, notice the absence of the crowd. Don't travel during the tourist season. It was a good decision I made, in my opinion. My hotel was right behind me, my hotel room. This was a lot darker than even this camera makes it look. It just, I really wanted to go all around there at night and take pictures. But you could see it could be pretty dangerous in the pitch black where it's not lit at all. It's darker than this camera makes it look. I have to admit, it was a little creepy too. I mean, given the 1,300 years of history this place has had, Tidal Island, with wars where I read the place was covered in blood during the 100 Years' War with the English. And yeah, it was a little creepy. Not really. I wasn't creeped out, but it did have a spooky feel to it, as you can imagine. I read that this was, some say, the most haunted place in France, right here.
Well, it's pretty dark. I don't know how much further I'm going to go. Goes quite a ways up there. But I don't want to fall. I'll go back down.
And that's the entrance to the hotel I was staying in. Quite an interesting place wrapped around that pile of rocks.
Right. Most of the crowd is gone, not all of them. So I'm going to go for a little walk. The restaurant's still open. During the daytime, this is ground level. This place is packed with tourists, but all these shops disappear. Above ground level, there are none. It's just the Abbey, which is nice.
And then I saw this made for days when people were thinner than they are now. I could barely fit in there. But I went for it.
Pretty dark. I think people live here. Private. Well, I think I'm going to head back down. I think this is all private residence. I don't know how much exploration I'm going to get. This is so narrow I can barely fit through it. Private. Yeah, people live here. I don't want to fall. restaurant. Well, I really go home here at night. These two women in front of me are the only two women out. It's only 9:30. There's an espresso machine that doesn't work.
Excuse the jacket getting in the way of my phone camera here. I ate dinner in this place a few hours before. It's pretty good local fare, traditional food from Normandy. Pretty good dinner. Cost me about $20. Now I'm going back up into St. Peter's Church, and there was a man and woman in there. It's like they were doing some kind of worship, singing together. So I turned around and laughed. They have mass in here every day. I didn't want to intrude upon them, especially in this place. So this was getting close towards the end of my night there. I did have one event, possibly paranormal. I spent the night there, and I woke up right around sunup. I swear there were two hands on me, one on my shoulder, one on my hip, just rocking me back and forth like to wake me up. You know, pushing me, rocking me, and to wake me up. And so I got up, and I was expecting to see somebody there, but there was nobody. And I just kind of smiled and said, well, I guess it is time to get up. Thank you. So I got up and got on with my day. But I swear somebody had their hands on me and was rocking me back and forth to wake me up.
That's beautiful. That is a long ways up. Just leaving ground level.
That street and these buildings have been there for centuries, maybe 1,000 years or more old. I wondered what these buildings were used for through the ages. Taverns, barracks for soldiers. Who knows? Rather foreboding looking. But this is March, and I imagine in the summertime there's a lot more foliage and flowers and roses and probably a totally different feel to it. But then you've got to deal with the crowds. And I would prefer to take it like this time of the year, March. That's why I stayed there at night, just to wander around, get these pictures. I had thought that I would get all the way up to the top and wander around the old abbey at the top at night, but that wasn't happening. Maybe next time, if there's a next time. I thought I'd walk up here one last time and record it. I know I already posted this once, but I really like this little walk for some reason.
That's the top.
I wasn't quite as winded as this may sound. Just having the phone in front of my face, walking up these stairs and such. You know how it is.
They start getting towards the shops. Behind me, there's no shops, no restaurants, nothing. It's just the Abbey. So they keep all this stuff at ground level, which I'm glad. During the daytime, this is packed. It's like 10 o'clock at night. All the shops are closed, everybody's left. And it wasn't long ago, the tides come in and you're stuck on this island. I'm gonna take a little walk out to see where the tide is.
Very old, narrow streets. And in the summertime, you can imagine with all the visitors that come during the daytime, how packed in they are on these narrow streets. Come there fall, winter, or spring, you don't have to deal with it. Or if you don't mind the crowd and the crush, come there in summer. Either way, you're going to have to wait till about after 7 p.m. in the evening to get the streets this empty to yourself. Everybody leaves, which is wonderful. That's why I stay.
Medievalsville. This place actually goes back to like the 7th century. And they just kept building on it. And it's seen a lot of bloodshed here, a lot of wars. A lot, from what I've read. Cannons used to blow out through there. My hotel room is up that way. La Poste Office.
Now I looked at this drawbridge and gate. They actually functional. Drawbridge, actually functional from what I could tell.
The drawbridge. This would be a great place to be in a zombie apocalypse. You'd be set here. They're still open. Oh, they're still open. They're doing renovations. These old buildings don't maintain themselves. I noticed they try to get their renovations done before the tourist season. This is late March. Tourist season starts up a couple more weeks officially here. I can't imagine this place in the summer. It was really packed today and it was raining and cold. Ooh, God. The last time I was out here, it was low tide. Wow. Oh, that's all the way up to the top, and that's higher than it looks. It's a lot of stairs, a lot of hidden rooms. That's the top, Mont Saint Michel. Very unique place. I'll give a full review on it when I get back to New York and I can put all these videos together. All right, I'm out.
That's the gates walking in. And doing some work in there, right inside. The other gates, and notice they got those iron gates that'll come right down, seal it up. That really works. The gate, that is, the door. Very imposing. You probably see this for miles, I imagine, at night, lit up. I took this picture out of my hotel room's one window. Took these pictures in the morning before I left. I didn't even see all of this place, honestly. Got there in the afternoon and, it got dark around 7. I was there in March. And that's me taking final pictures of it as I was leaving, walking back to the bus station, which is about a 30-minute walk on this relatively new bridge, land bridge, not really a bridge, land. 3 or 4 times a year, the tide comes up over this, and it becomes an island again. And that's it for my pictures of the place. I recommend this place, highly recommend it. To get there, you're not going to be able to get there on a train. It's either by rental car, or by bus. That's how I got there, bus. And it's worth it, really worth it. If you can't climb stairs, you have a big problem with stairs, it may not be for you. Unless you don't mind taking a few stairs, and you can always sit down on the stairs. Just let you know, there's a lot of stair climbing in this, and as you can see. And my understanding is during the tourist season, I would say April and May to, October, the place is really packed. I came there deliberately, chose to come there in February, March time frame to avoid all that. And I'm glad I did. And regardless, it empties out around 7 p.m. at night. Everybody leaves. I would recommend staying in the hotels there. Anything else? No, it's a very unique place. It gave off a strange vibe that I got. Definitely got some, spiritual type of vibes there. Powerful, really. There's so much in there. There's good. There's been hardships there, suffering. There's been devout Christians coming there to seek out and worship God, and supposedly the Archangel Michael ordered the place to be built in the 700s, 8th century. They say Archank. The story is that Michael ordered the place built. There's a whole story behind that. Um, so yeah, it's a pretty cool place to visit as a Christian uh, for spiritual reasons. Also, it's a good place to visit for history, and it's a good place to visit if you just want to get some great photographs. So there's no town to speak of on the outside of it. There's a few hotels and restaurants. There's a big parking place if you drive there, and there's a bus station. Um, so that's it. Mont Saint Michel. Hope to go there again and spend 2 days staying on the place. Give the place a thorough check out. This time I'll bring a light, something like I could strap around my head, like a, miner's lantern kind of thing. So it has my hands free, and then I'll wander around more and get pictures at night and check it out. Quite an intriguing place. Highly recommend it. Thanks for watching. Hello. Yes, of course, I thought of some more stuff to say yet about Mont Saint Michel. And my French is awful and probably won't improve much. Um, the food. I had a kind of a lunch when I first got there. Sat at a bar, had a pizza and a beer, small pizza. The pizza wasn't any good. It seemed like it was almost like frozen pizza. The beer was very good. It was local beer. I had one. I ate dinner there. First off, the price of the beer and the pizza were not expensive. It was reasonably priced, but nothing exceptional. The dinner was rather exceptionally good that I had there. I had I can't pronounce it, but it's a traditional meal from Normandy, and it took them a while to prepare it, but it was very good. Breakfast was very good before I left. And the food there, I would say, all in all, my experience, having had 3 meals there, was reasonably priced, was pretty good, varied from okay to very good, nothing exceptional. What else? So it occurred to me that if you ever plan to visit there, know that there's really no places designated to sit down. And if you're not in a hotel room or you're not in one of the few restaurants, good luck. You'll be sitting on the stone steps if you need to rest. I thought that was worth mentioning if anybody plans to go there. It wasn't a problem for me. I could see how it could be a problem, though, for some. There were no handicap, wheelchair uh, facilities, anything that I could, anywhere. That should be mentioned. I think that's about it. I went there in March, and it was crowded during the day, but not terribly so. I could get a seat in a restaurant, no problem. I can't imagine going there during the summer when the weather may be more beautiful, but and I can't imagine the crowd in that place. Is the second most visited tourist attraction in France, next to the Eiffel Tower, which I was in Paris a few times, and I never went to see the Eiffel Tower. Well, priorities. I think that's it. I totally recommend this place. Totally recommend it. I want to go back and spend a couple days, as I've said. So that's it. Au revoir.